Hi there. So, this video is probably going to be more like an open discussion about GTA 6 because just recently Tom Henderson made a new post online where he basically said that, in his personal opinion, GTA 6 might actually get delayed to October next year, meaning the game wouldn't come out in May 2026 as planned, but instead Rockstar would push it back again, this time to October. And of course, as soon as that dropped, everybody on the internet started running with it, talking about it like it was some kind of confirmed fact. Like Henderson was hinting that a second delay is inevitable. But if you actually read what he wrote, it's not even an insider leak, not even close to confirmed news. It's literally just his guess. He said straight up that it's just what he personally thinks that maybe Rockstar could delay the game again. And that got me thinking too. Could GTA 6 really get delayed again? And if it did, how would that even play out? Honestly, it's not a simple question. But if I jump ahead a little, my personal conclusion is that no, I don't think there's going to be another delay. After looking at everything logically, I just don't see a reason why Rockstar would push it back again. There are too many factors at play that wouldn't benefit either GTA itself or the gaming industry as a whole. So in this video, I kind of just want to talk it through with you, share my thoughts, because this topic keeps blowing up online over and over again, and at this point, I just can't stay silent anymore. I've got to speak on it. Now, sure, let's be real, another delay isn't impossible. There's no guarantee it won't happen. Rockstar could technically push the game back a second or even third time if they wanted to. But will they actually do that? Most likely not. Right now, GTA 6 is set for May next year, and that's already the new release window after the first official delay. Originally, the plan was to launch it at the end of 2025. So technically, we've already had the first pushback, and yeah, if you look at Rockstar's history, you can kind of see a pattern where their games usually get delayed 2 or 3 times. GTA 5, for example, was delayed 2 or 3 times. I don't even remember exactly anymore. It was supposed to drop in April 2013, but it actually came out only in September. Same story with Red Dead Redemption 2. Initially, it was targeting early 2018 like March or April, but in reality, it didn't release until October or November after a couple of delays. So it makes sense that people are nervous. We've already had one delay with GTA 6, and now Tom Henderson comes out and adds more fuel to the fire. Naturally, fans start hyping it up, worrying, stressing each other out. But again, let's circle back to the real question. Why might this not happen? Well, first off, think about this. If GTA 6 was actually coming out this fall, it would completely ruin the release schedule for every other developer. Nobody in their right mind wants to launch a game near GTA because they know everyone will only play GTA and ignore everything else. And that's just facts. From that perspective, it makes total sense why Rockstar moved it to May 2026. Once they did, a lot of studios finally relaxed they could safely release their own games this fall without clashing with GTA 6. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Tons of games are dropping this month, next month, and even into November. Everybody's happy. So now, with the May 2026 date officially announced, Rockstar is locked in, developers are comfortable, no one has to reshuffle release windows or waste extra budgets on delays. It's a win-win for everyone. Now imagine this. What if the game actually does get delayed until fall next year? First of all, the fans are definitely not going to be happy. The game is insanely anticipated, and even the very first delay was already super hard to swallow. People were literally furious back then, and the internet went so crazy that there were even actual news reports about folks hiring psychologists or some kind of specialist just to cope with the depression. And that's honestly kind of hilarious, the fact that a single video game can drive people into that state. But Rockstar managed to handle it pretty well because they clearly knew ahead of time that a delay was coming. They were prepared. They had already lined up the second trailer, tons and tons of screenshots, and right after announcing the delay, they dropped all that content. They released a second trailer, they gave us a mountain of screenshots, and on top of that, they filled their official site with a flood of new details, characters, the open world, locations. So at least we learned something. Honestly, if the delay hadn't happened, we probably wouldn't have seen any of that. We'd still just be stuck analyzing that very first trailer for a second year straight. So in a way, that delay actually felt justified, because at least we got new info and fresh material to dive into. But if the release moves again like to September or October 2026, that's where things get messy. First and foremost, it would hit the gaming industry hard, because let's be real, almost 90% of studios wouldn't dare release their games in the same fall window as GTA. They'd either push their launches to before GTA 6 drops or delay everything to the following year. Which means we'd be looking at a fall season where GTA is basically the only big release, aside from maybe a handful of smaller titles that aren't really threatened by Rockstar's juggernaut. Every other major project, delayed or moved out of the way. So the end result is that in the fall, everyone would only be playing GTA. And that's not exactly a great scenario. Because fall is the most profitable season for studios. It's when they expect the biggest sales, especially with the holidays right around the corner. That's when players are buying games left and right, playing non-stop and just enjoying new releases. So from that perspective, yeah, it would kind of suck if GTA swallowed up the entire fall. On the other hand, personally, I wouldn't mind playing GTA in the fall. That cozy, everyone's gaming, everyone's hype vibe, that's exactly what makes fall feel special. Plus, for content creators and bloggers, that's golden. So sure, there's a certain charm to GTA launching in fall. Still, the smarter, more balanced option is just to keep it in May. Release it as scheduled, no stress, no drama. And here's the funny part. Right after Tom Henderson made his post, there were actually 2 counter-statements floating around online. Not exactly debunks, because Tom himself was clear it was only his opinion, not insider info, not a fact. But still, 2 reassurances popped up. First, from Take-Two, who once again confirmed, for like the 10th time now, that the game is locked for May 2026. And second, from former Rockstar developer Obey Vermey, who also said there won't be any delay. Apparently Rockstar already locked in May long ago, so no need to worry. But here's the hilarious part. Those 2 so-called confirmations aren't really that trustworthy either. In fact, Tom Henderson's personal guess almost feels more believable than their statements. Why? Well, Take-Two's CEO Strauss Zelnick has already said like 7 times before that GTA 6 would for sure release by the end of 2025. And yet, we all saw how that turned out. The game got delayed. So it's really hard to take him seriously anymore, even though he's still insisting on May 2026. And Obey Vermey, just a little while ago, he was saying something completely different. He claimed that delays were still on the table, that Rockstar was internally discussing the possibility, and that developers would only be certain about the release date around 5 months before launch. And now suddenly, after Henderson's post, he switched sides and says no delays are happening. So yeah, these 2 reassurances don't really mean much. It's actually funny to even argue about it, since Henderson himself only said it was speculation, nothing more. So once again, this is really just his personal opinion, but somehow the internet blows it up into this big dramatic thing that everyone's chewing on non-stop, and half the time people are even presenting it the wrong way, treating it like it's a confirmed fact. That's why personally, I don't believe there's gonna be another delay. I'm not saying it's 100% impossible. Of course, anything can happen. We've still got about 8 months until release, and in that time, literally anything could change. Delays, new announcements, whatever. So yeah, there's always a small chance Rockstar could push it back. But right now, there's nothing pointing to that. As of today, the release is still locked in for May. And honestly, let's just reassure ourselves. If Rockstar really were planning to push GTA to fall, they'd announce it at least 6 months in advance. So as of now, we're still expecting a May release. And even if a second delay does happen, it won't be the end of the world. We survived the first one, and it turned out fine. We actually got tons of new info with that first delay. Plus it gave everyone more time to catch up on other great games, both new releases and older stuff people never got around to finishing. In a way, Rockstar is just giving you more time to clear your backlog. So use it. Play good games while you wait. Of course, the whole situation feels kinda absurd because, again, this all started from a random comment on the internet. People just latched onto it as if Tom Henderson, who's known as a reliable insider, was secretly hinting at a second delay. But I'll repeat myself, even Henderson shouldn't be taken as gospel. Remember, back in 2024, sometime in the summer or maybe closer to fall, he was confidently saying there would be no delays at all. He swore he had super reliable sources and that the game was definitely set for the end of 2025. And then, boom, we got a delay anyway. Naturally, people called him out along with other insiders like, come on, you said no delay, and then it happened. And the same thing goes for Strauss Zelnick from Take-Two, so it's kind of funny how it's flipped now. Before, Henderson said no delays, and we got a delay. Now he's saying, well, maybe there'll be a delay, which makes me think the opposite, that there actually won't be. So honestly, don't stress too much about all this chatter. Right now, none of it changes anything. We're still waiting for GTA 6 in May, and in my opinion, the chances of another delay are getting smaller and smaller. There's really no point in obsessing over it every day. And even if Rockstar did delay again, so what? We've lived through delays before Cyberpunk, Stalker 2, tons of other big titles. It's annoying, sure, but not the end of the world. And yeah, I get it. We're all desperate to finally play the new GTA. I feel the same way. Honestly, sometimes I catch myself thinking, man, it's only 8 months away, and I start hyping myself up, wanting to play it right now. But that's the kind of thinking that just drives you crazy. Instead, distract yourself, replay GTA 5 for the 100th time, dive into other games, find something fun to do. If you do that, the time will fly, and before you even realize it, GTA 6 will be out, preloads will be live, and you'll be downloading it. So yeah, let's just wait it out. And let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Could Rockstar actually delay GTA 6 to October? Or is this all just empty talk? Thanks for watching, and see you next time.